This is an Icon Ministry production with the support of our ministry partners and donors.
Who do you say I am? That is perhaps the most important question asked of the disciples in the gospel. But it's an important question especially for us, because how we answer that question will determine everything. Who do you say I am? If you believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, then our entire lives are about Him. Our entire lives and how we live those lives must come out of that answer. We live according to His teaching. Why? Because of what we believe. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. How we treat others will depend upon that answer. If Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, and He has commanded us to live in a certain way, then that is the reason for our life. Of course, Christians seem to the rest of the world to live a strange way of life. Our morality, how we treat marriage, life, the family, each other, our approach to politics, to economics, to how social events should be done, the markers that accompany us as we come of age, what we do with our time, who we associate, how we associate with people. All of this comes down to that answer. Who do you say I am? He asks them, what do the people say the Son of Man is? And the interesting thing is the varied answers. John the Baptist, back from the dead. Elijah, Jeremiah, one of the prophets. And the impressive thing about all of those is that they're completely wrong. But He turns to His disciples, because what others say cannot be the foundation of our lives. What others say about Jesus is not a foundation for us to make all our choices based from. But He looks at His disciples and says to them, "But who do you say I am?" And Simon Peter answers correctly. And so the office of Peter, the office of the Pope, has always been to draw the church back to Christ's identity. And that everything we do and our entire concept of ourselves is based upon that foundation. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And because I believe you are the Christ, the Son of the living God, I will live in that truth. Flesh and blood doesn't often reveal this to us, although reason can very strongly point to it. But it takes faith. And it is upon that faith and out of that faith that we live our lives. And so when difficult moral or economic or all sorts of situations arise, and we don't know how our faith lives in accordance with this problem, we can imagine Jesus looking at us and saying, "Who do you say I am?" If you believe that, if you really believe that, then you know how you're to live. And yes, the world will be different. Of course it will be. It answers that question, that most fundamental question, wrong. We are called to live out of our answer. So let us ask ourselves, who do I believe Jesus is? Is he just a moral teacher, a prophet, a nice guy, a person of interest, a celebrity? That dude I see over there on a cross and statues and the like? Or do I believe that he is who he says he is? And then to ask ourselves the next most important question. How can I live out of that faith every day of my life?
This production is only made possible because of the generous support of Icon Ministry partners and donors. Please go to iconministry.com/support to make a donation.